Hello, and welcome back to City Skylines. My name is Sparky, and we're back here in the city of Baltimoray in the west coast of Scotland. And today we are going to be building a university. I think it's long overdue. I've got around 30,000 Sims at the moment. We have quite a lot of offices, but I think that would help us along the way if we actually build the university, and it would obviously help our industry. Not that we've got that much industry anyway. And yeah, I think it's the more educated your citizens are, the less rubbish they produce as well, less trash. So yeah, let's get building. Okay, so where I want to build this university is I want to build it to the right of our built up area here. So this road, I'm just going to bring it along, and at the end, sort of near the end, there's a flat area. We'll probably still have to do some terraforming, but the reason I chose it was because it was mainly flat, and I do want to build a sort of compact university, so I thought that would be a good spot given it was relatively flat and we can fit all the assets we want in a relatively compact place. And it's not too far away from, as you say, we're building up a wee grid here, sort of an extension of our grid that's already there, and it should fit in nicely with the rest of our grid that we've already built up. I've marked off where I want the start of the university to be, and that is that corner of that intersection there where the two lane roads meet, and that's going to be the corner of our university. So now I've marked it off, as I said, we will have to do a wee bit of terraforming here. It's mainly flat. It's a mainly flat area, but I'm just bringing this road across because that is going to be like the bottom of, that's going to be the far end of the university. So basically up here, I want to sort of level it to that sort of level of terrain. So as you can see, going north here, it's sort of, we need to obviously fill in a wee bit. We're bringing the land up, and to the left here, we're obviously cutting into the land. But I want to just make a flat square area where a university is going to be, and then we can terraform around that. This isn't obviously the height of realism, but I'd just for the sake of the university, I think the assets suit being on, because we're going for quite a compact university. It just suits being on a flat bit of land. So that's what we've done. We've just created a flat square for us to build on. So now that we have our flat square, I'm just bringing the road from the corner where our university is going to be across, and I'm just going to build up our basic grid again, where I roughly want things to go. So I'm bringing this road along at an angle, and that should be where that's where our admin building will be. So I've just used a couple of pedestrian roads. I don't think we'll need a service point for this area because the pedestrian roads are just serving as a sort of glorified path. So we're just and it makes it look a wee bit more, official and more important. It's a more important building in the city. So I'm just building up a wee grid here, a 6x6 grid in the middle there. And later on, when we unlock our fountain for our university, that's where we'll stick it. We'll stick our fountain in there. And for our main building, we want a road to go all the way around, so I'm just bringing in a road a wee bit, and then I'm just going to curve the road into our sort of where our main building is going to be. So that's like the basic layout of where our head office is going to be, our sort of main building, if you will. So now that we have our basic corner, we're just going to create the university area, the campus area. And I'm just going to highlight the full thing now. This is roughly where the whole of the university is going to be. As I say, it's going to be quite compact, quite contained within a small area. I didn't, for this university anyway, I don't want it to be a big sprawling one, so yeah, it's quite a small, compact university in the end. So now that our university's in place, or our corner of our university's in place, I just want to smooth the land out a wee bit here before I put the road back in. Because we will be simulating as we're building, because the university assets, the unlocking stages, and you need to unlock it. We're going to be building while we're simming, so that's why I'm putting the road back in before I do anything. Laying down where I think the edge of our university is going to be. It might change. I don't know. It's obviously the more compact it is, it's going to be harder to fit things in. But I'm just smoothing a wee bit of the land. Anything sort of to the side of that, anything to the side of the university, I don't mind being in lumpy and bumpy ground. But for the main campus area, I just want this to be flat because it's going to be a very compact build. So before we go any further, obviously we need to put our water pipes in as well. As I said, we're going to be building as we're simming, so obviously it needs to be functional. It's not just needs to be functional while we're building it, basically is what I'm trying to say. So just putting our water pipes under our roads where they should be. So university, we're just going to go for the first type, and that's the trade school, and that's the main building there. So as I said, I'm sort of laying out the basic framework of our grid that we're going to be using, and so I'm just putting down some temporary rows to work out roughly where my grid's going to be. Obviously these will be taken out once we actually build where we want. But right here is going to be the corner of a university. So we're bringing that across to meet our other road. And that square there is basically going to be a university square. It's going to be quite compact. I know it's going to be rather square, but for the theme of the university, that was basically the theme. It was basically a square theme I'm going for. I know it's a bit boring and grid-like, but we do have 2 more universities we can build, so we'll see how it turns out, and if it, we can always make changes down the line, you know. So I'm just grading the land, and that's our main road that goes through the middle of our... It's the main road that goes through the middle of our sort of government square / cathedral area, so I want to bring this road round, and it's going to act like a main road from one side of the city to the other. Even though it's only a small road, it is a 2x2 road, so it will carry a lot of traffic from one area to the next. So this is our basic grid, and I just want to lay out a few basic paths as well. Again, everything's subject to change when you're laying out stuff, and the grid lines, as you can see, are already a mess. Yeah, so I just want to lay down a few basic paths to roughly highlight where I'm going to be putting buildings. And as I say, we can always change them if something doesn't fit quite right, But yeah, just as I said, I'm just laying down some basic roads and basic paths for where we want things to be. So I do want the whole university to be like one big walkable university, so there's going to be no roads in this square basically. Especially just going to be one big, say, walkable university. You can walk from one side to the other quite easily and quite quickly, as I say, because it's quite compact. And I'm just going to take out some trees here before I do anything else. So we've got our basic grid down, we've got our basic paths down. Let's start sticking in some buildings. So the police academy is obviously the first building we can unlock, and I'm just going to put it down here. I'm going to put a path at the other side, and we are going to flip the building round so it faces on to the middle of their University Square. And I'm just going to put a path around each side of the building as well. As I said, I'll probably, because it's quite compact, there's probably going to be a lot of paths around most of the buildings. So as I said, I'm just flipping the building around to face into, what's going to be our University Square area. So as I say, we're going to be simming as soon as we've got enough buildings down. So I'm just building a temporary electricity line for now. And, as I say, we need this to be functional while we're building. So I'm just going to bonk down a couple of dormitories. I don't think, in terms of actually building, we're only, I think, going to have 2 dormitories, because it's going to be quite a small university. So I really want 2 in this trade hall here. For now, we're just going to bonk it down. I'm going to bonk it down between the buildings so that the power jumps, basically. This won't be the final resting place of it, but for now we just kind of want to get Sim in here so we can unlock all the assets as soon as possible. So in order to do that, we need academic works as much as anything. So we're just going to spend all our money trying to get academic works to unlock. There isn't actually any policies, I don't think, that we can use to increase campus attractiveness. At least if there is, I've not seen it. So as I said, we're going to spend all our money on trying to get the academic works unlocked as soon as possible, and we need to increase our campus attractiveness. I'm just going to name this university for now. I'm just going to go with Fremont University to begin with. Again, we might change it, but that's going to be the name for now. And to increase our campus attractiveness, we're going to have to bonk down a lot of assets. And we're just going to name our police academy Lester Fremont Police Academy. And we might name the rest of the stuff later on, but that's the first 2 anyway. So in order to, as I say, level up the university, we need to increase our campus attractiveness. So we're just going to be bonking down some assets for now. These are temporary. As I say, I'm just going to be bonking down quite a lot. We want to try to unlock as many levels and as fast as we can, so I'm going to be bonking down quite a lot of assets here in the hopes that we get to level 3. I forget what the reputation level is for level 3, but basically level 3-star university. So we're just going to be bonking down quite a lot of assets so we can meet the campus attractiveness to get there. And then, hopefully we can get lucky with the academic works and get to level 3. I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We'll just have to sim for longer. That'll give me time to, build rounds here. We're going to be doing some work buildings, outside the university in this episode, but we obviously want to try and finish with university as well, So we've bonked more than enough down. I think we can get to level 3. So it looks obviously very ugly. It's just the way we're going to have to try and unlock it. I mean, we could do it then, the quote unquote the normal way and, build it up naturally, but I just kind of want to fast forward. I just kind of want to fast forward the process into, getting everything unlocked today, and we can actually finish the university in this episode, So I may as well starting to try and decorate this, the front area of our university, because this won't change. This is basically set in place. The head office building, that's not going to change. I mean, other stuff around it might change, but this is our corner of the university that won't change. So I've just put on some just put the main street through the university area there is a one lane street. And we just upgraded all the trees to, you know, the sugar maple. And we're just gonna decorate here with a wee bit of bushes around the grass areas. So we'll put bushes around all the grass areas, except from the one in the middle, obviously, which is going to be our fountain, and I'm just bonking down a couple of trees. I think that looks much better already. I mean, we might make changes down the line, slight changes down the line, but for, you know, as I say, everything's subject to change until we finish up. So that took a wee bit of time off the academic year. We've still got a long way to go. So I'm just going to move our temporary line, because I'm going to build in this area here, the square in between our university area and our normal grid. And we're just going to tear it, you know, we're just going to tidy up the land a wee bit. It's not as steeping as I first feared when I was doing a wee bit of jiggery pokery earlier on, so it's not actually that much. It's not as I thought the hill would be steeper than it actually is, but it's not too bad. So I basically want to extend our grid in much the same way that we already have. So yeah, just extend our grid, nothing too fancy. And I'm just going to get rid of some of these trees here before we do anything else. Wow, we've just hit the end of the academic year, and we got 5 academic work, so we have jumped to level 3, thankfully. So again, we're going to spend a bunch of money trying to get our academic works to unlock even faster, so we're going to give them a grant, maximum number of staff. So we've reached level 5. We only need 3 more to get to level 4. And obviously our campus attractiveness will need to upgrade, but we can do that by plonking down some buildings. So yeah, that's quite good. We skipped to level 3 already, which is quite handy, because it's, they say the faster you can level up, the better. So we've got our second sort of building, and it's a travel and tourism building. And I want to stick it in this corner here, so I'm going to delete. Well, I'm going to move this building, because I'm going to keep this, just put it in a different place. Height of realism, just I think for now you just have to suspend the realism on the university. But we're going to plonk down more tourism building, campus building right there, and we're going to bring a path all the way along onto the main road again. As I say, I want this square to be as walkable as possible, and I'm going to put paths around most of the buildings as well, so it's you know, it's quite a condensed small campus is what we're going for here. So we unlocked our fountain at level 3, so we can bonk that in now. That will obviously help with our campus attractiveness as well. Bonk. I think that adds the finishing touches to our sort of entranceway, or sort of university plaza, if you will. I think that looks quite good. I don't like those trees, but I'm going to take them out just to give it, you know, I don't want to block the view of the university all that much. I just want a couple of trees. I don't want anything too, you know, spectacular. So we've unlocked a few buildings, you know, gymnasium, the library, a commencement office. I don't think I'm going to have a commencement office on this university, but I'm going to use the statue, and again, this is not the height of realism. We're going to delete most of these assets here. I'm going to bonk down my library for now. I think, I'm not sure if this will be the resting place, but you know, we'll see. As I say, it's a wee bit subject to change. It's hard to plan for these university buildings just because you need to unlock them in stages and stuff, but I'm just trying to move them slightly closer to this path here. And in between the 2 dormitories, I do want to put a wee statue. I think I will use just a statue 1, this sort of feature thing. sundial. Is that a sun? It kind of looks like a sundial. I'm just going to plonk that down there. Again, that might actually stay. It's just obviously we've bonked down a lot of buildings right now just to cheese the game, if you will. So it's not impossible for us to get to level 5 in the next sort of academic year. We're just gonna have to plonk down a lot of assets to get there. So I'm just deleting these because certain assets have more campus attractiveness to them than others. So there's no point in having these sort of low valued ones sprinkled all over the place. And I'm just going to delete them all. And what we're going to use to sort of cheese the game, we need to get to 1800 campus attractiveness. So these statues actually are, I can't remember what they are individually, but they increase the attractiveness by quite a lot. So that's again not the height of realism, but I'm just going to plonk down quite a lot of these, try and cheese the game into unlocking, level 5 as soon as possible. So the thing that might slow it down actually is the academic works, because I think we need 16 or something. So to get 11 in one go is going to be next to impossible, I think. So it might take 2 more academic years for us to do that, but you never know with these games and algorithms and stuff. So before we start simming again, I'm just going to add a few more paths into our university here. I'm going to bonk down our study hall there, and again I'm going to bring a path down the side of that as well. That might actually be the final resting place of that building, and I'm going to bring that path all the way along, connected to our main building. And yeah, that might actually be the final resting place of that building. Obviously we've unlocked a few buildings, but what else have we unlocked? So the gymnasium, yeah, we've unlocked the gymnasium, so I'm going to stick it in this corner here. And I think it suits quite well there. I don't know how good it is to have a gymnasium right next to the head office, but I think it fits in and it suits the area quite nicely, so I might just keep it there as well. And I'm just going to make a connection here with our path. Again, slightly obviously subject to change given we've got about 100 statues at the moment, but we've got a cafeteria, we've got a library. I kind of want to have one of each sort of asset, but we'll see how things go. As I say, I'm probably not going to use the commencement office. So our cafeteria, I do actually know where I want to put this, and that is in this corner over here. So I'm going to move these statues out of the way. I'm simulating, as you can see, so we can obviously level up quicker. But yeah, I want to have the cafeteria over in this corner over here. Well, for some reason it's been a bit finicky with the password. That's it now. That was being rather annoying there. I don't know what's... This game's a bit weird at times, so I've played that the wrong way. But yeah, just want to bring this across here. And get rid of that. And stick in our cafeteria in this corner here. So this is going to be like the far corner of our university, so I kind of wanted to put it there, and we can have a couple of shops, around the back of it, and I think it would fit in quite nicely. So I'm just going to do a wee bit of basic landscaping, nothing crazy. There's only a tiny wee bit of grass. And I think I want to stick a couple of trees in as well, but I don't think the chestnuts are too big. I just kind of want a wee tree in the middle of the area. I think that looks okay. I mean, as I say, we can always tidy things up a wee bit better later on once we're actually properly building our university, but yeah. We'll come back to this, we're just going to have to let it sim and we'll start, tidying up with other areas. So, before it leveled up there, I started this wee area here, and I was going to... Yeah, I want to make a wee plaza in the middle of this sort of square here. As I say, I kind of wanted to break up the monotony of, you know, the grid with something a wee bit different. And to the north of this it's a quadrant above this one. There's a sort of awkward shaped one, and I want to build a special feature in that, and that's come out with, see, because the land's not even, it's come out with a wee bit weird concreting thing in so that doesn't look great. So more terraforming, I think. I mean, not a lot, not major, as I say. I don't mind a bit of terraforming, but I don't want to do anything too drastic here, because it's already getting to the point where it's a bit, you know, it's a bit of a steep climb. But I just want to flatten out this square because it's going to be a walkable pedestrian precinct. I just kind of want it to be flat, and I don't mind if you know, the houses or what we're building these squares are, if they're a wee bit, you know, if they're on a wee bit of a climb, I don't mind that. So now that we've got our grid, our square back, we can terraform, we can tidy up that. We're going to have to do a wee bit more, because that's going to be that's going to be too steep. Yeah, I'm just going to take these roads out for now, just so we can terraform, and it shouldn't be too bad once we actually get it terraformed, you know. It might be a wee bit of a steep climb, but nothing, I don't think it's too crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Just reapplying our grid now. So now that our little pedestrian square is flat, let's get back building it. So as I said, I want a 6x6 grid in the middle, so we can fit in, you know, this water feature plaza thing. I think that looks quite nice. Obviously it looks bare right now because there's nothing round about it. We're just going to change the trees to our cherry blossom tree. And actually I think I'm going to change the ones around the side actually to our lindens, and for, you know, our central square bit, we'll just keep them as cherry blossoms, have a wee nice mix. So while it's simming and running here, I'm just going to extend our sort of, we're extending our zoned area over a wee bit here to include these 4 blocks. And I want to create a new one for, you know, our new area. I'm just going to bring it down the side of this road as well. So for these quadrants, I kind of want a continuation of our residential. I'm just going to put in the water pipes before I do anything else. Water pipes in place. I just want to, as I say, continue on more sort of European style grid into these squares here. And at the bottom on the main road, or I'm going to call it main road because it's a 2x2 road, we're just going to have a couple of shops, a couple of local shops. And I want to have a row of offices. Oops, I've zoned the wrong thing. Yeah, I want this, this is going to be our separator between our residential area and we'll call it our funky shaped quadrant on our left there, which I think I've decided I'm going to put a hospital there, because we've been kind of neglecting our healthcare a wee bit. So I think I just wanted a row of offices as a blocker. Yeah, as a blocker between your residential and our sort of plaza area. I just want a row of offices. And I think that's basically the edge, that's the end of our European district. I don't know if I've been doing any more European districts in this build. We'll see how it goes, but and we're nearly about to hit the end of the academic year, so we'll see how we go with that. So we've only unlocked 5 more academic works, so we've went to level 4, so we've got a couple more buildings we can plonk down. But we haven't reached level 5 yet for all our buildings, so you know, as I said, it was unlikely we were going to get 11 academic works in the one go, but we've got a couple more buildings, but we can plonk down. And I kind of want to stick my laboratories down in this corner here, and I'm pretty sure the laboratories they increase the chances of getting academic work, so that'll probably guarantee us getting us to, you know, level 5 the next time. So I'm just going to take these two out here and put our path behind our building here. So same again, we're just going to spend a bunch of money trying to get as many as possible. As you can see, our academic work chances went up to 85%. I think that was because we put down the laboratories. So we only need 6 more. I think we should be okay to get it this time. You know, if we don't, we don't. You know, we'll just have to sim another year. It would be nice if we could get it done today. So our auditorium, I kind of want to put that near our head office. And yeah, I think that fits quite nicely in that area there. So now that I'm quite happy with like that asset there and the gymnasium on the other side, I'm just going to do a wee bit more landscaping around our head office here. So nothing too crazy on the landscaping front. Just a few bushes round the paths. And just a few trees sprinkled in here or there as well. Like I say, I don't want too much. Just a wee tree here or there. I think that finishes it off quite nicely. So while we're simming here, we'll tidy up around the edges here. At the back of is it the study hall? I think it's the study hall. I just want to connect a path up here. I don't think the Sims actually use this path, but it just looks like a natural place to have a path that leads into the staircases into the back of the study hall. So yeah, as I said previously, we've got a weird shaped sort of area. And usually when I've got one of them, I usually like to place like a special feature. And this time we're going to go for the hospital. And because this is at the boundary between our sort of older European style and our more, you know, more modern area in terms of we've got a university, we've got some wall to wall buildings look quite modern as well. I'm going to go for the high capacity hospital, and similar to the the study hall there, we're going to have little paths. Again, I don't think the Sims usually use these paths. Maybe they do. I'm not too sure, but I just think it looks good, and it looks natural as well, because they've obviously the back of the hospital here. They do have like path looking features at the back where there is doors there. So I don't know. We'll check maybe afterwards and see if the Sims actually use these paths. But I just think it looks natural anyway, even if in game it doesn't actually do anything. It just looks a natural thing to have. So nothing too crazy, just a few paths out the back of the hospital, and it makes it look more like people actually use the back area of this, and it's not just, people just go in the front door and that's it. Oh, and then you can see a Sim actually going in the back of the hospital, so they do actually work for this building. Maybe it's just certain buildings Sims will use it and Sims don't. But it's good that the Sims are actually using the back. It makes it feel more like an actual. It makes it feel more like a hospital. So it's good that they're going in the front and the back. And I don't know. I don't know if I've seen any go in the side yet. But the fact that they go in the front and the back just makes it more of a. This makes it much more of a good. Just looks better in my opinion. So we're just adding a few fences around the side as well. And then we can, oh there they go, they're going on the side. Wow, I really like that fact that they're going in at all angles of the building and they're not just going in the front door. It makes the building look more, you know, energetic and alive in an actual real building. Because sometimes in the buildings in the game, you know, if they're only going in the front door and there's this, like the high school, and there's got this massive area at the back of it and stuff, it makes more, it's much more realistic. They're using all angles of the building. So fences in place, let's do a wee bit of landscaping. And I'm not going to do anything too crazy, I'm just going to plonk down a few trees, a few chestnut trees. And we'll use a few lindens along the paths and the fence. And I think that looks a bit neat and tidy. I'm going to add a high school into the area as well in one of our new grid spaces. We've only actually got one other one in this side of the map, so it's about time we get another one in. And I'm just going to use a sort of standard high school. We're going to add in a tennis court. And add in a basketball court on the other side. And again, we'll just pretend like that's part of the school. I know obviously it doesn't really work like that in game, but we'll just pretend that's part of the school. So I just want to add a wee bit more connectivity about it and just have paths all around it. And it'll be a sort of degree of separation as well between our school. And I think we're going to have a row of shops at the back of the school. And we're just going to fence off the back of the school as if, you know, just to make it look, it's, you know, give it, nobody can just walk into the back of the high school. And just a couple of extra trees as well, just to sort of, again, give a wee bit more protection to the back of the high school slash, you know, buffer a wee bit of the noise as well from the foot traffic. So I've simmed a wee bit, I've zoned in a few shops and I went for, you know, the wall-to-wall stuff in it. I don't think it suits the area. There's just so much though, they're European style buildings. I think I'm just going to use standard shops, standard commercial buildings. I thought, because we're sort of transitioning between our older European style and we're going in our sort of wall-to-wall slash university area, I thought we might try and a few more modern looking shops, but I don't think they suit the area, so we're just going to go for the default shops. So while we were building, the academic year just finished and we're just one short now in terms of academic works. It's a bit unfortunate we have to go another whole year, but you know, that's what can you do? We're just going to spend money to guarantee we get another academic work here. I mean, we're kind of okay money wise and we should be able to get level 5 next time, no problem. So while we're simming, I'm just going to make a couple of changes. I think I'm going to move the library there and we're going to put in our bookstore on the sort of main road. That means that not just, you know, university students can use the bookstore. I mean, in case there's any sort of, there might be local people that want to use the bookstore as well. And we're just going to we're just going to add a path, again, around most of our buildings to make it as walkable as possible. And it's starting to come together. Earlier on we put our cafeteria in this corner of the build and I said I wanted to put more sort of shops behind it, so that's what we're doing now. We're just going to add some commercial shops behind it and it'll make it like a wee commercial hub. Well, you know, we've got our campus cafeteria which people can use, but if they didn't want to use it or they wanted to use the shops behind it, you know, there's a couple of wee shops there, and it's right next to our hospital as well. So again, for patients or you know, nurses and doctors, and they want to grab a bite for lunch or something, you know, they've got some shops right next to them. So we're just zoning a few shops at the back of the cafeteria there. And our building's on fire. Hello, is there any fire engines nearby? Hello? This is going to burn down, isn't it? I don't know if it's in the game, because it's facing onto a path, I think it might need a helicopter. Whereas if it was facing onto a road, I think it should be fine for our traffic. Let's see the fire station here. Yeah, 0 of 25, okay. Okay, so we're going to have to build a temporary helicopter depot for our fire service. This is not ideal. I'm just going to bonk one down. I'm just laziness bonking it down for now, and we'll build a proper place for it next time, I think. But I think our building's going to burn down if we don't build one. So then off it goes, and it's too late. It's going to crumble. Yeah. Oh god, that's comical. Well, we'll just knock it down, clear it up, and place it down again. That's really annoying. That's one of the features of the game that makes no sense to me. I mean, the back of it is on a main road, is on a road, so surely the fire engines can just drive up to the back of it and put a fire out. But no, it needs a helicopter. So now I'm going to extend my zone here. We're going to decorate the back of these buildings that we've got placed. I don't think most of these will be changing. I mean, obviously the statue, we'll probably get rid of the statue, but I put wall-to-wall offices on, and we want to have create a little office square sort of in between my residential and my university area. So yeah, just zoning some offices. Couple of local shops here or there as well, and hopefully when that, everything's zoned in, it starts to look a bit good. Well, finally we've hit the end of the academic year. I've hit level 5 at last, so it's time to get deleting all of these statues. Now we've got rid of all the statues, we can actually build this thing properly, and I'm going to put my beach volleyball club in this corner with our other clubs. I mean, I'm not really 100% decided on this corner yet, so we might make a wee change here or there. But for now I'm happy for where it is. So our last school of engineering, I'm just going to plonk it down in this block here, and obviously it fits into the area because I pre-planned ahead, and I think it looks quite good. And at the back of it here, again, we're just going to put in some paths. I don't know if the Sims will actually use these paths, but again, it's just an extra detail that makes it look like a proper area, and it looks as if there's a path from that side through the buildings. You can lead on to your square. So I'm actually going to leave this sort of sundial statue here, and we're just going to do a wee bit of decorating here, and just put a few bushes round the side. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's a nice wee, it's a nice bit of decoration in between our dormitories and our, the back of our engineering building. Again, it kind of looks like a place where somebody can walk through into our main square. So talking of our main square, let's do some decoration here. I'm going to have an outdoor study area. Now we're going to have an outdoor study area, and we're just going to sort of create like a a little park area type thing, where we've got lots of paths. That, for one, it's a bit of connectivity through the square area, and two, it's a nice sort of place where the students can come and relax in between classes or before and after class. There's a place to study. If it's it's a nice day and they can sit outside in the open study area. So I'm just going to create some paths through this central square here. And it obviously involves a lot of jiggery pokery and deleting and redoing paths to make it, look, get something that you're happy with. So yeah, I'm just, as I say, trying to add connectivity as well as just having an outdoor area where they can go and, sit on the benches and, go to the study area to study. As I say, it can be quite. I'm not the best at doing these, to be honest. That's why most of my grids are, square, because I'm not very good at the old freestyling, curvature areas and stuff. But patience is the key. I think you've just got to stick with it, and then eventually you'll get to something that you quite like, and then you just have to keep on sticking with it until you get there. So I've almost got a grid I'm quite happy with. I do want to move in. I've decided I'm going to move in a couple of the clubs. So I moved in one club there. I think that was the math club, or the book club, sorry. And this is the IT club, and I do want to try and fit it in to the middle here as well. And bring a path around. As I say, I kind of want this middle area to be like a fun zone, if you will. An area where you can study as well as just hang out in between classes and stuff. But I'm going to finish that later on. For now, I kind of want to focus on this corner. I think I've got an idea now of what I want to do, and that is I want to just have a wee square of shop / office area at the edge here. I don't think we've got any more assets I can really stick in this corner, so this is just going to be kind of like another small commercial / office place. So I've created a wee square created a wee square for us, and I'm just going to do a wee bit of landscaping before we zone anything here. So as I said, I kind of want to have another row of offices. I also want to have a wee bit of commercial over here as well. And to sort of create crossings in the road, I think we're going to have to do a wee bit of jiggery pokery as well with the road. So I'm going to upgrade this road to, the one with the tree in the middle, upgrade the end with the tree in the middle, and have the rest of it just grass. So it's created a couple of crossings. That means people can cross in between, and we're going to put a path through the middle of our zoned area here. And as I said, we're going to create a zone of a row of commercial and some more offices in the corner here. So now back to our square. I just wanted to, while we were moving our clubs, I just wanted to take care of that little corner before we did anything else. So I'm going to create a park area here, and it's because I want to use a couple of the park features in our sort of university square. So we're going to have to cheese the game a wee bit here, and we're just going to create a temporary sort of square, temporary zone of square here, so we can put in our park assets, and then we're going to have to do some more jiggery pokery, after we've finished placing our assets. I just want to place some gazebos in here, and they're going to be like little study gazebos / places where students can hang out in between classes or before and after classes. And yeah, as I said, I kind of wanted to create like a mini park type area where, as I say, the students can chill in between classes and whatnot. So I'm just placing a few gazebos throughout the square. And I'm also going to stick in, you know, the park fountain feature as well. I think it fits just a bit nicely in that little corner there. And yeah, as I say, I think it's starting to come together now that we've actually got a few assets in place. So now to make them actually functional, we're going to have to rezone some of it here. Just bringing in this bit here to make sure it hits the... Make sure it, you know, it hits the university features and doesn't touch any of the park features. And that should be us. So it's just a wee bit of jiggery pokery. It doesn't look great when you look at it in the... We've obviously got the park name sticking there as well, but we'll deal with that down the line. I just wanted to have a couple of park features in there. And I also want to upgrade the paths as well to the ones with the tree in the middle. We haven't really used that. We've just used generic paths so far, or university path with no trees, but I think in this middle park area, we kind of want to make it a wee bit more... We just want to, you know, make it the area look a wee bit more nicer with a few trees. And again, we're going to plonk down a few trees in between as well. I think we'll go for a few oaks. Just a few oak trees here or there. Again, I don't want to turn it into a forest. And I think that'll do. You know, just a few trees here or there. And I think that's really came together quite nicely. So for our other 3 zones, I just want to finish this off before we go. Obviously in one of the previous episodes, I put down a police station and a fire station just at the edge of our area, but we're going to have a permanent home for it now, and we're just going to put them off the main road, sort of opposite our school. So they're not really moving from their area. They're just this is our permanent home now. And we're just going to zone some more commercial in between, just in that area there, just along this main roads, and in between our police and fire station, and a few more offices for our little office square there. So while things are simulating in the background and zoning in, we'll just do a wee bit more landscaping on this, on our little office square here. So I'm just going to stick some flowers all the way around this square here. As I say, I don't want to sort of close off the grass areas. I kind of want to make them accessible so that, you know, people can sit in the grass or whatnot if they're, you know, if it's a nice summer's day and they're on the lunch break, they can sit in the grass areas or whatnot. I don't really want to, you know, block them off with bushes or, you know, these flowers here. So I just want to have a couple of trees in the middle as well. I think that came together quite nicely. And again, while we're letting it sim and we're letting it fill in, we're just going to bring this road up here, make another node of connection, and going to have to do a little bit of landscaping as well because it's a bit of a steep hill, but we can focus on this area a wee bit more the next time. I just want to put the road in for now, and then obviously next time we can make changes whenever we're working on this area. But that's just another node of connection there. And I just want to fix our traffic signals because we've done a lot of building today. So I just want to make sure our traffic signals are working before we do anything else, before we look at the finalised build. And with that, I think we are done for the day, so let's pause and take a wee tour of what we've built. So we built out our university here. I think it's came together quite nicely. We've got our main building here with our little fountain at the front. We've got our main schools around our sort of square, our study square we'll call it. I think that's came together really nicely. We've got a cafeteria in the corner there with some offices and some shops behind it. We've got our office park here with our hospital on the left hand side of it. Obviously we carried out our grid a bit more the European style. And yeah, we added a high school as well. I think it's came together really nicely. I really like it. I hope you do too. I mean, if you like this episode, obviously like and subscribe, and if you want to see where the city grows. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.